talk about this. This is from Katrina, who is our resident billing genius. And she's out there helping, she's on the front lines helping our doctors collect the most money. And she said that, is this something I can share, Katrina? I just want to make sure, because this actually seems pretty huge. I just want to make sure that, I'm guessing it is, but I think this is tremendous. And I think I'd love to be able to share this with all the doctors on here, because I think this might be something that they may not know specifically.
She gave us the green light.
Green light. Okay, cool. Okay. So here is, this is big news. So Katrina, she works, she's out on the front lines making sure that the doctors can collect the most amount of money per patient on their claims. And she said, today we actually seen supplement checks coming in for visits from telehealth. How many of you guys have claims that you're submitting to telehealth, right? Put a telehealth in the chat box, because they are paying the deductibles and the copays, right? Which is pretty interesting. In fact, she said $12,000 in extra income for patients that were telehealth patients in the last 4 weeks because their insurance is paying for the copay and the deductible in just one of their practices. So this is, oh yeah, okay, we got some yeses here. So guys, so this is huge. So there is money that's just lying there. So I would definitely apply to make sure that you're doing what needs to be done to be able to collect those monies, because that would be a shame, right? That's like your stimulus plan right there. For enough, some practices, that's enough to really pay a good chunk of the bills. So Daryl, over to you.
All right. So Corey, are you showing something on the screen besides the apply now?
No, I'm about to dig into that now.
Okay, I'm gonna get excited. All right, make sure some people sit there having some issues, but absolutely, guys, 100%. That is super exciting. I was on the phone earlier today with another doctor, with Dr. Ron, and we were talking about the different billing codes out there, and it was literally just one conversation with having that. We were able to see 3 or 4 additional codes that they could actually bill for to help out, and for doing the same amount of work. So, guys, make sure you get with us. We look forward to helping with you. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, okay, cool. So Ira, I got to do one thing with this. You want to talk about this, Ira? I think this would be great. So this is, in addition to what we're doing on the early detection monitoring site, this is what we are also helping doctors with as well, because we realize there's more that doctors need help with, in addition to just implementing early detection monitoring. So Ira, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Corey. And you know, as you can see here, this is the 7 practice pillars. So it's not just a one-dimensional where it's just telehealth. It's, you know, telehealth is anybody can set up a Zoom call and talk to the patients. But this is, you know, we're looking at it's a holistic approach to your practice. And there's 7 different elements. One is patient care, where we can really elevate the quality of the patient care so that you can see them more frequently. You can, spend a little bit more time. It's easier for the patient. They're going to have a better experience. And so we focus, it all starts with the patient. What we want to do is we want to put the care back in healthcare. And I know everybody that's on this call right now believes that and wants to do that. The second part is marketing. What would happen if you're able to actually do a webinar? And very few doctors, I think, would know how to do a webinar, but this is all we do all day long. Is we have a marketing arm, and we've had webinars. We've had over 2,000 people on a webinar. So imagine for a moment you're a doctor, and you can get all these patients on a webinar, and then actually teach and educate, and then get paid for it. So marketing right now, I would say, in the environment that we're in, is, I would say, 90% of the survival and the success of a practice right now with what is going on has to do with their marketing. Your marketing right now has never been more important. You also can grab market share from not only in your own city but across the country. You can pull in people that maybe that practice went out of business, and you then can this patient can become your patient and build that relationship because it's all virtual. Then next is lifestyle for the doctor. We all know how hard and how long doctors work. If you can, and what this really is about leveraging your time. And so when you're doing when you're practicing medicine one to many, your your revenue goes up. You don't have to work as hard. You don't have to see, you get off that treadmill, and you don't necessarily have to see more patients. The one-on-one thing, when you could do one to many, it really makes a difference. But what happens is right now we're in a state of uncertainty, and when you have a lot of uncertainty, no matter what you're doing, there's anxiety, there's stress, and so when you get control of your practice, you have a steady flow of revenue that you can trust. You know that your billing is going to increase dramatically. You just sleep better at night. You can enjoy all the things you have in your life. You're not always just worried about, how do I keep my practice afloat, particularly right now. And then, of course, medicine, the quality of the care that you're providing for your patients. What does that really look like? What are the new things that you can do that you can all of a sudden implement that weren't available before because of virtual care? The other thing here, team. This is a critical piece right here. It's all about team, and many times we've seen this in practices where the doctor is all fired up, but for whatever reason, he doesn't have 100% buy-in from the team. And being that this is a new paradigm, you're going to have some people that just, they don't want to do anything different. They're just kind of stuck in their comfort zone. Excuse me. So what needs to happen is to get buy-in from the team. As an example, with coding, if you don't have your team on board regarding proper coding, that's a big problem. And we'll work with you and get everybody on the same page. You'll get buy-in from everybody. And this way you want to be synchronized. You're all doing and thinking and saying the same thing. So this is really a big part, because what the doctor really wants to do is he just wants to practice medicine. He wants to help his patients. The team thing many times can be a very big problem, because and all it takes is one person that has maybe a little bit of a negative attitude, and it's kind of like the bad apple syndrome. It spreads. And so how to identify that? What's really going on within your practice? Because we all have a culture within a practice. What does that really look like? Then, of course, revenue. And we showed earlier, and Corey will get into this a little bit more, but revenue where on average, based on what we've seen with Katrina and all the practices she's worked with, at a minimum, they're going to be able to increase revenue from 25 to 50%. Dr. Ron, it went up to 238% just by proper coding, proper billing, all those things. These are critical pieces right here, because there's just recently, in the last week, 2 weeks ago, they opened up 90 codes. And the average doctor, most doctors, they don't have time for that. It's like someone trying to learn the IRS tax code. So it takes a very special person to really want to go in there, really want to learn that. And so we have Katrina on our team. She's been doing this for 30 years. This is her passion, helping doctors recover that revenue that otherwise would be lost. We can even go back as much as 1 year, depending on the situation and who the insurance company was, and recapture some of that money. Moving forward, there's a big spike in revenue because you can see people more often, and then it's one-to-many medicine. Then, of course, the financial side. One of the things we can do also when you pull all these elements together is position a practice so that it becomes more saleable, where, say, it's 2 years from now, 5 years from now, you have an exit strategy, if in fact that's what you wanted to have, by getting your marketing in place, and you build up your additional patient load by doing this virtually, by increasing the quality of the care for your patients, seeing them more frequently. Your revenue is going to jump up. You're going to have an asset that's going to be far more saleable. So these are things to look at, but it's a holistic approach. I had a number of medical weight management and wellness clinics back in the mid 90s in Minneapolis, and we had surrounding areas. And what we did was we treated thousands of people. It was all based around functional medicine, preventative. One of the things we focused in on was the big problem, which was weight management. And, if someone's overweight by 50 pounds, they shorten their life by 8 years. I've never seen a 90-year-old person who is 50 pounds overweight. They never make it that far. That's a big underlying reason, as we all know, regarding hypertension, high cholesterol, dangerous things like that, sleep apnea, and it just goes on and on. Diabetes. It's just it's one of those markers that really puts people in the red zone where they should be in the green zone. So so this is the program itself. This is what makes this is what separates us from anything else that might be, someone might say, well, yeah, I have something just like that. This is unique. This is proprietary information. This is intellectual property that we're sharing, with the doctors that we work with, but we're very passionate. This program will take a practice. Basically, it'll recession-proof your business. And we're about to go into, we're actually, a lot of people, we are definitely in a recession right now. I know we'll pull out of this, but the reality is there's going to be winners and losers that come out on the other side. The practices that pivot and readapt and embrace the new paradigm are the ones that are going to really thrive. Not only survive, but thrive, and to be a stronger, better practice into the future. And so what we're talking about right now is the future of medicine now, and the future is here at this very moment. And so that's what we're excited about. So it's a mission, it's an initiative, and it's a cause that we're all very, very passionate about. But Daryl, Corey, back over to you guys.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks so much,
Thank you,
Ira.
everybody. Yeah, and I'm going to put the application up one more time. So just, if you're a doctor out there, you need help, you need assistance, you're not quite sure what to do. You got staff that's like wondering when they're going to go back to work or if they can get their hours back. You got patients that you're not able to see, or you're kind of worried about your finances and you want to fix that, or you're doing, you're doing okay, but you want to be doing better, then definitely apply. So, and this is how we kind of pass on our knowledge. Is we've been studying this. We've been bringing in all of the experts from around the country that are experts in early detection monitoring, rapid patient monitoring, billing codes, how to chart correctly to get paid the most money, how to do group medicine. So we have those experts, and we want to relay all that information to you. So that way you have it, you're armed with it, and you know what next steps to take. So go ahead and apply. It's edmmd.com/MD apply. Do that now. And we do have limited spots. We're only taking on a few doctors because it does take a lot of time for us to kind of work with you and your staff to be able to make sure that you, as quickly as possible, are able to implement life-saving techniques with EDMMD, but also, frankly, practice-saving techniques as well, because we're looking short-term, right? So we things that are important is STC, which is short-term cash flow, and then LTI, long-term impact. And you want to be focusing on both of them because they're both important. So we're going to wrap up right now. Daryl, is there anything else you want to mention before we wrap? We've been in the chat box. We've been helping get masks to people that need it. All right. We've talked about early detection monitoring, how it can help your practice, how it can help your patients. We've been talking about the 7 pillars for physicians, and giving you a link where you can go apply for us to help you, educate you on how you can basically come out of this swinging and not go down swinging, right? So come out of this really in a healthy position and not have a practice that's sicker because of it. So Daryl, over to you.
Thanks, Corey. No, I just want to say thank you so much to Corey and Ira for coming out tonight again to share this information. And if you're a doctor that's out there and you need support, you need some help, you're on a medical team, and we're here, okay? We're here in the fight with you. We're trying to get you the supplies. the Marine Corps used to call us the beans, bullets, and Band-Aids, right? So we want to make sure we get to these supplies out there. We got food, right? We got some Band-Aids, right, for some masks out there. We got some bullets out there, which is the system we've actually have here that we're helping doctors. So like Corey said, we only have so much space and bandwidth to take on the amount of doctors we're going to take on. So if you feel like that's you and you're ready to step up your level of the game for providing that early detection monitoring for your patients out there so they can stay at home, they can stay safe, then please apply and we'll make sure we get you that information. Thank you so much, Corey. I'll turn it back over to you to end it out.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, doctors. I want to thank everybody on here. I want to thank the advocates who are out there spreading the word about early detection monitoring. I want to thank the doctors for helping your patients and really take, I mean, this is, we're obviously in a crisis right now. I think everybody's doing the best that they can. So our goal is to really help as many doctors as possible and the right doctors. And one of the things that we're also interested in is helping doctors become the top integrative integrative health practice, functional medicine practice in your area, which if we can do that, and I know we know how to do that because we're working with literally the top functional integrative medicine practice in the entire country. And so we're going to be giving you proven strategies on how to do that. So if you're also interested in that, then definitely apply. And thank you so much for joining. Thanks for taking up the time. I know you're busy seeing your patients during the day. I'm going to turn this over to Ira. Ira, over to you to close this out. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay. Again, I want to thank everybody for being on this call tonight. And I want everybody to be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And everybody have a great weekend. And we will talk to you soon. But put yourself into the apply if you can. Again, we're working with just a handful of practices right now because it does require a lot of bandwidth. But thank you all and have a good weekend and stay safe.